Welcome to Babble of the Brews, deep thoughts fermented over time and text. I'm Aaron KruJuice for Verka, your host, my co-host Gumbi.
Hey, what's up?
And George.
Wait, I don't.
Also
anything?
also my co-host. But I was including you in co-host.
I didn't feel like you included me with co-host.
Well, see,
I've been in most of your episodes and I don't have a title.
George, can you move out the way here?
Yeah.
could you bend a little lower? I can't see.
That hurt my feelings.
No. But listen, I forget what you call it when you just simply say one thing and you go again and again and again, but you're still insinuating that each person is that same thing.
Call that a mistake, Aaron.
So, you are still a co-host, all right? George is also a co-host. Is that better?
You know, you're backing up now, kind of like your arguments against the Bible, or with the Bible, but we'll roll with it.
All right.
Yo, it's me, George, your skeptic. Let's go.
All right. So tonight we are introducing a new game, Skeptics Brewlette. Now here's the deal. I have a dice. It has 6 different numbers on it. We have 6 different bags that my wife so lovingly wrapped up so we don't know which one is which. And so what we are going to do is try to figure out which beer is which. We have all the names in front of us, and...
Would you like me to read them?
Oh, go ahead, George.
All right. So we have 6 selections of beer. Let me do my juice reading voice. Selection number 1, or potentially number 1, is Stone Fear Movie Lions Double IPA. Number 2, Kona Brewing Company Fire Rock.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Pale
Chris.
Ale. Number 3, Fathead's Holly Jolly Christmas Ale. Number 4, Stone Tangerine Express IPA.
Thank you, Mark Sterling.
5, Stone IPA. I like how that one is the most, not cool name. Yeah, just what, Stone IPA?
That one's IPA.
Yeah, that's literally just Stone IPA. Yep.
And last but not least, Southern Tier 2 Xmas Spice Double Ale. Wow.
I'm going to grab a pen that I have in here somewhere. Right?
I love the fact that they're in plastic bags,
There.
so we don't look like we're homeless.
I was kind of thinking that was cool, though. I was kind of hoping we just drink them right out of there. Can pass it around. So what are we doing? Are we doing a reveal at the end? Or is that what
Oh,
you're
yeah,
bringing
we're
the
going
pen
to
out?
reveal at the end, yes.
Okay.
So, we are going to put our initials and what number we think it is on each card.
Oh.
All right.
Alright.
And
Alright.
you're never going to pick a favorite because you're going to go by the dice.
Gotcha.
By the time we get
Am
to
I-
the end, everybody should have a turn with the dice on every
Right.
number.
So what? We might have to keep rolling though until we get.
Oh, we
so
will
it's
have
always
to
at
keep
random.
rolling.
All right, I see what you're saying. All right,
And
so
George is going to ask a ton of questions.
I am. It's kind of my thing. All right, so we gonna crack one of these open juice. Or you gonna get the ball? Are you gonna get the dice rolling here?
So, George, I'm going to hand you the die.
Oh, you want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah. And here's the deal. When you roll it, you and the person you're asking have to drink the same one.
Oh, is that it? So it's
Yep.
like a competition? I thought we'd all drink it. No?
Nope.
Oh. All right. And so wait, I roll,
Yep.
and then that number.
Yep. Would you prefer if we all drank?
I think yeah.
All right, let's all drink. All right,
Because
so
me and Gumby get along too well. There won't be enough friction
All
if
right.
I just ask the question to him.
all right, let's do it then.
Yeah.
George will roll the dice. We'll all drink, and then we'll all write down what we think it is.
That's
sure.
true. I should be in the middle of it. Separate you two.
I agree. Well, we fight all the time. All right. 4.
Number 4. All right. Mike couldn't be here, unfortunately. He is out of state.
I dropped
This
this.
is a golden. I'm already guessing this is the longer.
That's definitely an IPA, I think, right?
I'm guessing pale ale.
It's an IPA.
Oh, never mind.
All right, whatever this is.
Cheers.
Ooh, cheers.
Bitches.
I'm definitely smelling IPA in this one.
Pine.
Oh, way piney. It's
IPA
way
is a
piney.
pleasant blend of pine needles and cactus. Enjoy. Yeah.
This is way piney. If I were to take it,
Crap. The color I thought was light, but that's definitely an IPA.
I'm thinking Stone IPA.
I'm going Stone too because I didn't catch the tangerine.
No, not at
Yeah,
all.
me neither.
No.
Are we all getting along?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely not Tangerine Pass.
Oh, I'm moving into the Stone
I'm going
double IPA. Yeah, that's got a lot of pine.
Oh, there is a double. Ooh, shoot, there is a double.
I'm going double IPA.
I'm going double on that one too.
Shoot, I'm gonna agree.
Okay, fine.
All right. So, okay, so we all think it's this one.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so we'll go George. We'll go Gumby. Uh-oh. G and G. Shoot.
GG. Okay.
And J.
Okay. Beautiful. All right, so let's go number one.
All right.
And I feel like this is a good one.
First question.
All right. So, and I'm paraphrasing from a website. And so, if God wants us to know and accept Him, why does He hide Himself from humanity? And since modern humans originated over 100,000 years ago, why did God wait 98,000 years before sending His Son to redress our sins? And then only to a small portion of humanity within 100 miles of Jerusalem. Or if you're sufficiently sophisticated to see God not as a bearded spirit, but as a ground of all being, why isn't that ground obvious to everyone? So yeah, I don't know. I do think and I brought this up before. I just think it's so weird, and I think my joke was, if God exists, and lift the camera up and like take it across the room, make me a believer. Like, why is it so much left to chance and having this faith? I don't like it. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Harry.
So, I believe that God interacts with humanity. However, He lets us fail or succeed on our own. That's
He could still let Himself be known and let us fail and succeed on our own.
why.
That way, if He wants us to believe in Him, that would be the way to do it, wouldn't it?
All right,
Not?
I'm going to give you an illustration that you gave me, George.
All right.
So,
If God lifted that camera
If-
up right now,
if you believe,
like broke the mirror over there.
if you believe
Right.
that a child comes to you and honestly says, I'm sorry, or if his parent makes him come to you and says that he's sorry, which one is more of a legitimate
right,
apology?
yes. So I
So-
said before, it's child. Like,
Yes.
yes.
So, does God want you to prove that you in your own heart are a good person who's trying to follow the rules, or is He going to make you do it because, there's a God and now I'm fearful, now I believe? Which one would He prefer?
I don't think that's a good metaphor.
I
Because,
think it's a
like,
great metaphor.
Jewish people do things out of the Bible now without, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Let me think. Let me rethink that phrasing here. I don't think that's a fair metaphor though, because I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm having a hard time. Please say it doesn't be,
I mean, think about it. If you were the creator, all right, and you want to find out if mankind is good, all right, and everybody knows that you now exist because you've proven your existence, there's no reason for them to actually have a good heart. They're just going to believe because if they don't believe, they will be punished, right? Whereas if you just simply let mankind be mankind, now you find out who actually is being good to be good and who's choosing to believe out of their own free will.
Yeah, but isn't atheism growing?
Actually, it's growing in both ways. Yeah, in some areas of the world, you do have atheism growing. In other areas of the world, you actually do have Christianity growing.
I do know, like, I understand, or at least I read a website or an article, who knows how deep that is, but that I know it's a growing trend amongst young people, that they're just not accepting it. And I just think, like, a lot of people, their bullshit alarm goes off. There's a lot of silly stories, and you're just supposed to believe in God over all these silly stories. So why not give us something legit? Why speak to us in metaphor instead of showing us who you are, or just, even, what's if it was once every 100 years? But we don't get that.
To their credit, though, most atheists to their own acknowledgement, aren't atheists. They're agnostics.
Which is fine.
And
That's why I think I am.
most atheists will tell you that they are not actually atheists, that they're agnostic. And what they're doing is they're open-minded to either.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that they, when I think of agnostic, I would imagine that it would be defined as someone that, hey, there probably could be a higher power, but I'm not seeing the evidence right now to prove it one direction or another. Right.
So, Aaron, you said something interesting, though. You said creator.
All right.
And I think that's an interesting word because if you look at just Native Americans, they believe in a creator, but they don't necessarily view it or call it the same thing we call as a god. So they wouldn't use the term God as we use it. So when I think of that, though, when I use the word and I try to look through that mindset of creator, to me that's a broader brush to paint with.
Okay.
That can encompass all of humanity versus just the Judeo-Christian mindset. So in other words, I think there could be multiple pathways to the creator.
Okay.
We term it as God, right? They might call it, I don't know, the Great White Wolf. I don't know. I've been to some church that's what they call it. But
Just as believable as Christianity.
Maybe Buddhists call it Buddha, Enlightenment, whatever it is. I think different cultures at their time had that name for trying to maybe describe the indescribable.
And on the Catholic side, and I've been on both sides. So evangelicals are a little less forgiving on this one. But on the Catholic side, right in our own catechism, it says that we believe that those who have honest hearts can succeed in finding salvation, because if they were, let's say they were raised Hindu, all right, but they still strive to be the best Hindu they could be, that still shows an honest endeavoring on their part.
Yeah.
So right in our own catechism, I believe it's 841, right in there somewhere, right in our own catechism, we have where we believe that people who have an honest endeavor and are looking and seeking for the truth, we believe they can find salvation within their own religion.
And that brings me to another question, though. I think, and that's what that little blurb that I had just read, that he only revealed himself within a 100-mile area of Jerusalem. Like, how are people, that are raised Hindu or Buddhist in these Asian cultures, how are they supposed to,
See, we don't believe that. We believe that he has revealed himself across multitudes of different people. For example...
But they don't believe in Christianity, because they've never been...
Not by name, but even Paul inside Romans 1:20 said that every man is found to be guilty if he does not seek out the Creator, because he is made manifest in creation itself. So... that would parlay the way for an honest endeavoring of finding somebody within your own faith.
Be that enlightenment, or that could be viewed as salvation for them. We just I don't know. We might be dealing with semantics.
It would be no fault of theirs if they didn't know Christianity, but if they had an honest heart, we believe that God is open to them finding salvation.
But I mean, there's a good chunk of population is both Islamic and Hindu and Buddhist.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't your Christian God make an effort to help them seek the real truth that is your Bible?
Well, again, in our catechism, we believe that the Islamic person is a brother to our faith.
Well, but what they believe is not the truth. What you believe is the truth.
But they worship the same God.
But what they believe is to be the truth is not the truth. So why isn't your God making an effort to let them know the truth?
Well, we believe he is.
How? Not the way he made it available in Jerusalem.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that argument. I mean, because, we have the Crusades to contend with their, different views and different ways of looking at it and justifying whatever it is we're going to do. But
and that was on both sides, and both sides admit to that. The Islamic, the Orthodox, and the Catholic all admit that there was fault on all sides. Obviously, the Catholic was not guilt-free. Neither was the Islamic. And both sides have apologized to each other.
Yeah.
So,
when is Jesus supposed to come back? Did he ever give roughly a date and time or anything like that?
he did come back, and he will be back again.
When will he be back again? Well, he didn't come back because that's a fairy tale. Because you don't die and come back.
Oh, but he did come back.
No, he didn't.
History shows it.
No, he didn't. Juice, no one in
There
the
was this-
history of ever has
there
ever
was this
died and
little
come
thing.
back.
There
Your
was this
body
little
decomposes
thing.
and you rot. So a zombie did not rise out of the grave. If you did not, you have to go for the
Wait, so
beheaded
are
spine.
you saying that existence is only in a corporeal form?
I don't know, but it's in terms of a human flesh body that no one dies and comes back.
So
A double IPA.
Thank you. Was it Stone? That's Stone?
Oh, I don't know. I'm
Thank you, Stone.
You had to go with the resurrection, George.
So if you follow the teaching inside of a lot, not all Catholic, a lot of Catholic and preterists. In fact, Mr. Brian Gatto would agree with this, that his first return was actually in 70 AD. He said he would return in one lifetime. One lifetime means 40 years, right, in the Jewish mindset. And he said that the temple would be destroyed and that not one stone would be left upon another. He did that in 70 AD. He made sure that the temple was destroyed, not one was left upon another. The day of the Lord is always judgment in the Bible. It doesn't mean he's coming back to save everybody.
Why isn't he saving everybody? I thought everyone was supposed to get salvation.
If they choose it.
So what kind of punishment? I mean, where do we draw the line? Is what I'm wondering. If God is supposed to be all kind, understanding, and loving, why is He giving eternal punishment to people? Where do we draw the line?
He gives everybody a choice. And
So simply, okay, so I think there's probably a lot of people in your church that I'm probably a better person than. There's right? I would say it's probably likely.
Probably.
But since I choose not to believe, I'm going to spend an eternity in hell over that person who did decide to believe.
not necessarily.
Really, that's what it sounds like.
Because-
it sounds like
because-
because I decline.
Hold on.
You'll be in purgatory.
Yeah.
Purgatory's not a bad place. It still means you're going to heaven. So, a Catholic who does not obey the commands is no different than somebody who's rejected the faith. So, on that side, in fact, we are held more accountable because we do know the path. So, if we don't follow that path, we actually have more punishment than a non-believer.
All right. Now let's just say I continue to do my research as such. I just decline in Christian faith and a Catholic God, but in the next 60, 70
Christian
years, I continue to be as good as your Catholic priest, if not better. All right. So God comes back. Where do I go?
That's not up to me, it's up to him.
But I mean, I feel like you know the answer. You just don't want to say. You're like,
No,
I don't know. I'm gonna
literally.
put this one on God right now.
No,
I mean, I know the answer. I know the answer, Juice. I know exactly what's gonna happen.
No, but we don't. We literally don't know the answer. We don't know what salvation is. It's a mystery, okay? All we know is that he told us that if we obey the commands and we follow him as best as we can, then we will find our afterlife. So that's what we know. We also are told that those who follow the path as best they can also find salvation. That's right, like I said, Romans.
Is he supposed to return?
1:20.
But is he supposed to return again in one lifetime?
No, someday. We don't know when. It could be 1,000 years from now.
Maybe never. So I have a question now.
All right.
Okay, so God.
Wait. If you're going to another question, can we do another beer?
Yeah, we can. I feel like it's in the same yolk. I don't even know if that's a real word. I feel like I've heard that somewhere. Of that.
It's the middle of an egg. It's a yolk. It's on you.
Right. So, yeah, let's move on.
All right.
Where's the die? Where's the die?
All right. So we did 4, right?
We did four. But it doesn't matter. Roll the die.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we get whatever you roll.
Oh.
Oh, all right.
Well, I don't want to get 4 again. I thought that's why we'd have to re-roll.
Oh, we have to re-roll.
5.
5. All right. Let's go 5. This is the game. The game is afoot.
No
Oh.
cheating.
And
I think I already know what this one
I'm
is.
guessing Kona.
This looks beautiful. I can already tell by the beautiful amber color.
yep.
Oh, I'm going Kona all the way, all day. Oh, smell that. It smells lovely.
Oh, Jimmy G. Willikers. This smells just fantastic.
So smooth. That's definitely Kona. That's Kona all day.
I'm trying to remember. I think I actually went to the Kona Brewing. Is that Maui?
It's down south somewhere. I forget where though.
It's Kona.
That's
Kona?
definitely
Yeah.
Kona. Yeah, we're all going Kona. Yeah. That's definitely Kona.
Got that Malta.
Do we got?
Yeah.
Well, see. Well, at least we'll have these two. Hopefully, we'll have a split for the 2 Christmas beers.
Right? Well, we also have another IPA too. We could be wrong on the first one.
That'd be awesome.
This is such a distinct beer. I really like it.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So good. Again, thank you, Chris. All right, next question.
Alright. So, God gave us His only Son, and He died for our sins. All right, but
yeah.
isn't Jesus an extension of God? And didn't God give us sin? So, like, why is He? Isn't that kind of like just a weird story about how He gave us sin, but then God has to sacrifice Himself to Himself to forgive us for something He gave us? I just feel like that's kind of a weird story.
Well, which part?
I
of
just
that,
don't know if it adds up.
Which part of that question is the question? 'Cause that's like 3 questions in there, maybe 4.
Yeah, I mean, why is it God is sacrificing Himself to Himself?
Is that
I see what you mean.
is that the
It's
question?
a long roundabout way to save humanity.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but it's this is a really long explanation. Shoot. And
That's a deep question.
I
I mean,
think-
I
I think
wrestled with that question a lot.
I think C.S. Lewis actually hit it best, and maybe Tolkien. Probably more Tolkien.
Is that Star Wars?
I mean, I'll go on
Lord
a
of the
journey
Rings,
with you.
man. So this goes back to, man, I wrote an article on this once too. It's really good. So this goes back to, if God can see the future, why did He not plan it out better? Right? It parlays the same thing, right?
Okay, fair.
All right. So, and the way I wrote it, and the way I think it is that I don't believe that God could know the outcome until He started Inception. Because without Inception, there's no timeline. So how can you see a timeline without Inception?
I don't know. Well, such a dumb joke. Why don't we ask Christopher Nolan? So dumb.
Now I'm thinking about Leonardo DiCaprio.
You're right. Yeah.
Well, think about it. So let's say, and I do believe
You're
that.
saying all-knowing God
Uh-huh.
doesn't know everything.
Well, no, I'm saying He does. But I'm saying that there's nothing for Him to see until He starts the seed of Inception. Once that's started, now He can see all potential realities, right? He can see all potential timelines. He can see every pathway that could possibly be taken by every person. However, I don't believe without those pathways existing, He could have seen it.
I see what you mean.
So I believe that once He started it, He can now see all the potential endings and all the potential, alternate endings and realities and all that, how they parlay across each other, possible dimensional, fabrications. But
Why so many lessons early on, but not in
I
modern day?
was gonna say, I get what you're saying, but that's a huge learning curve.
I believe it has to do with evolution. I believe that because if you go back to earlier judges, for example, I taught on Judges today in the PSR class at my parish. Judges is a sadistic book. It's terrible, but there's huge lessons in it. But it's terrible. It's
So there's more bad than good.
well, Judges tells you about how bad people can become. That's what that book is. It's all about how bad people rebel against what they're being told, like they're a bunch of teenagers. It's really what it comes down to. Like God would tell a judge is like a small ruler who protects the people, to stand up and help them and guide them and rescue them from what's happening. But as soon as that judge would die, all of a sudden the people would all go astray again, start worshiping the pagan gods and doing whatever pagan gods do, which often involves things like sacrifice and human sacrifice and baby sacrifice. And then a judge would come up and they'd be corrected. As soon as that judge died, people would go astray again. So, I mean, it's a very sadistic book, but it really does paint a picture of how bad humanity can become.
Well, I get the sacrifice
So-
thing, right? Because, God asked for sacrifice early on.
I
So,
believe...
can you really get mad at him for taking that too far when that was once a direction from God.
Well, here's the problem with that. I do believe there was a reason for it. Now, this is not a Catholic opinion. This is my opinion. All right, just to clear that up.
You're not going to speak on behalf of all Catholicism?
I am not teaching. This is not in the teachings. It's not in the catechism. Okay, this is me. All right. So if you go through the Bible and you read the Old Testament, I believe that the church, and this is more of a called a mystery in the Catholic side anyhow. It's called symbolism on the Protestant side, where they're like, well, this symbolized what Jesus was going to do, and when they were sacrificing the cattle and then they saw the blood, that was symbolizing this. I don't think that. I think that in order for them to not go to hell, they actually had to perform a ritualistic, for lack of a better term, magic, all right, event in order to pass their sin to the dying animal. I believe that they actually had to do that. Otherwise, a lot of it doesn't make sense. But if that's what they're doing...
I mean, what you just said doesn't make sense, but that... Wait. You're like, unless they do the magic ceremony where they pass their sins onto the animal they're sacrificing.
Yeah. I believe that is actually what you're painting in the Old Testament. Because otherwise, if it's all just symbolism, why do it? Why do it? So I believe it was a ritual they actually had to perform in order to pass their sin to a dying creature, so it would not be on their souls when they died.
But I think of that, though. I think of when they were making their sacrifices, they did what other cultures did to appease their god, because otherwise they didn't think the sun would come up, or otherwise they didn't think their harvest would harvest, or they had their own version of what they needed to do to appease their god. But this is where I really wrestle with. I draw a line between the Old Testament viewing Yahweh as the creator of all versus an actual creator. I think their Yahweh was their own political god for what they wanted politically around that time. I don't think that's necessarily the creator of all.
Well, and I don't believe that all of it's supposed to be taken so literally either. I mean, for example, most of Judges that we were just talking about, most of Judges was actually written during the Babylonian exile. Well, that happened in around 550 BC, right? Considering that the events took place around 1200 BC, there's definitely some area of error, right? So I believe that even the oral tradition can pass down what you're supposed to learn from these books. I don't take them as being ultra realistic. I'm not saying that they... Again, for example, if you go to, what chapter is it with Jephthah? Is it chapter 17? I think it's chapter 17. If you talk about Jephthah, for example, he was so enmeshed in the pagan cultures because he would worship Yahweh one day and then Baal the next day, right? So he was so enmeshed inside of the pagan cultures that he went completely outside of Levitical law, and he said, God, because you helped me defeat the Ammonites today, when I get home, the first thing I see next to my house or coming out of my house, I sacrifice to you. What walks out? His only daughter. He sacrifices her. But that's, again...
Classic that it's a woman.
Again, well, it was his only child. It was his only child.
I know, but of course...
So, yeah, again,
there's undertones there, absolutely. So let's soak in.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that.
I think if they, I believe it or not, because if you look at the speech he gives right after that, I believe it's trying to teach a lesson to fathers, because he talks about how it rips his heart out that it's his little girl that comes out of the house.
I hate that though, but then he thinks God comes before his family.
No,
he's gonna kill.
No, that's just it. The point of the story is that they had become so paganized that they were no longer following a righteous path, and that they were committing evils and atrocities.
I thought you said the sacrifice was going to be for Catholic God.
Wait.
Or is this pagan God he's talking to?
No. So, again...
Who's he talking to when he says...
He went outside of Levitical law. So, yeah, he's trying to talk to Yahweh. Okay. But then he takes a pagan ritual and devotes it to Yahweh. So, it's telling you about how far off people can be. I mean, there's nowhere in the Levitical law that you would ever declare anything like that. Okay, so it's trying to tell you that this is what happens when you walk outside of the laws that were given to you. That's the lesson that it's trying to teach you.
You're going to become a crazy pagan?
Well, if you understood the pagans of the day, yeah.
Does that translate at all to anything today?
No, we're much more civilized today, so I don't think it would be quite as bad. You know, but in that time, human sacrifice was common among the pagan people.
Right.
So it's trying to teach them a lesson. So I don't think that it's an ultra realistic, word for word retelling of the history. Maybe it happened, but I think what it's really trying to do is teach you, if you enmesh yourself in the pagan cultures, this is what can happen to you. And it's really trying to rip at the heartthreads of a father, because every father who has a daughter knows your daughter's your little girl.
Yeah, well,
So-
that's why I don't view Yahweh a whole lot different than the pagan gods, because the first thing he asked Abraham to do was sacrifice his own son.
It stops him.
And he does stop them,
Horrible,
but
though.
it's not uncommon, like you said, with the other gods at the time. So it's not a shocking thing. This is where I think, the distinction between Yahweh, the God of the Old Testament, and Jesus is so at odds with each other, because Christ condemned Peter for even taking his knife out
Yeah.
to stop the guard.
And
Christ
again,
is trying to show a different way that we didn't have to kill each other. We don't have to conquer and rule by force. That doesn't work.
but again, I've always seen that one as prophecy. Because if you look, 2,000 years later, you have a father and a son on a hill called Golgotha, where the son actually does die for the sins of all humanity on the same mountain that takes place. And even the wording, where it says that God himself will provide a lamb for the sacrifice, it's definitely prophetic of Jesus' sacrifice, 1,000 years later. 1,800 years later? Something like that. So, I definitely see that as prophetic. That's why it's called the Akedah. It's given a special place in prophetic history.
Well,
Next question.
I have nothing.
Let's roll that die.
Okay, so we got 5 and 4. Juice, I feel like I want to go through all the beers. I don't know if I want to do.
It's more fun this way.
I'll thank the Lord too. All right.
2. All right, what's 2?
he said, thank the Lord.
He did. He's converting.
Hey! Someone call conservative Mike.
Uh-oh. Automatically, I'm going to say I don't think we're going to agree on this one.
This is going to be the Christmas one, you think?
I don't think so. I think the Christmas is a dark, isn't it?
This is an IPA. I'm going with just Stone IPA.
Let's find out.
Unless I take
Oh, I don't know. It already smells a little stronger.
Because I'm stronger
wonder if this is
than
the-
yesterday.
Oh, this is the double. This is the double right here.
You're switching it up?
No, this is double.
Yeah, switch it up
This
now.
is definitely. Oh, man. But this is the double. I'm telling you, this is the double.
That's strong.
Oh, that's strong.
Snap, after, I know, we all messed up! After, man, that other one was so piney right off the bat, and now after having this one, I'm like, damn.
This is definitely the double.
It's good though. I mean, it's.
Oh, it's delicious.
Wow.
It's a really good IPA. It's well balanced. It hits you. It hits you, and it's strong. But the flavor is really good. This is definitely Stone. Whatever it is, it's Stone. Stone, good job. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I made a mistake. It's probably the devil.
Oh, so strong though. This is definitely the double. Definitely. I like it though. In fact, it's stronger, but I think it even may have better flavor than the first one.
You're right. You're right.
So, because the first one was a little more piney. So even though this one is stronger, it definitely has more flavor.
Yeah, that one's
It's-
thinner. This one's definitely.
Yeah, it's robust.
Yeah, definitely.
And the palate in this one is definitely far thicker.
Where's Stone out of?
I don't know. But we'll check the box when we're done here because it's in the fridge.
That's a good beer though.
Oh, it is. It is. I honestly, I like the double better than the first one. I would definitely drink 2 or 3 of those. Yeah. And then lay down.
and then call Uber. Bring it, George.
What do you got, George?
Bring the heat. You know,
Quantum physics?
I'm no, I was just thinking about that the other day too. It's like I want to get it. My brain just has a hard time attaching to the subjectivity of time.
Spatial time theory?
Oh gosh, I was trying to talk about it. That's me.
I'm ready. Let's bring it. I love science. I love quantum theory.
We'll have a special episode about that.
All right.
Oh, we have to.
Can we just talk about this? So maybe, I don't know if this is such a crazy one, but Exodus 22:18, you shall not let a sorceress live. Can we talk about what a sorceress is and why we shouldn't let them live?
We can.
So why do we have to kill them? Who are they? Who's a sorceress?
So, the sorceresses were the priestesses that worked for the other deities. They
So why
would
we kill
literally, because
They weren't ours.
No.
Seems like it.
Because, doggone it, they were selling the wrong brand.
Right? Seems like it, right? Is that it? They're selling the wrong brand, so we have to kill these sorcerers?
I mean,
Competition. It's about who's God's the greatest.
if you're a Nike guy, you've got to take out Adidas.
Right? I agree. All right. So is that moral? Is that a moral?
I'm actually just using hyperbole. So,
I mean, I get it.
No, so really what it comes down to is souls. That's what it comes down to. So if you go to, like, I think it's Ezekiel 13. So in Ezekiel 13, you end up with this really weird phrase. And it has to do with magic. Magic is very real in the Bible.
But magic's not real.
Listen, you're talking about priestesses and sorceresses.
Don't tease me
all right?
with the talk of magic and not expect me to say something about
all right.
Obviously, you
But-
haven't seen Copperfield.
That's legit. That's real magic.
That's real.
I mean, he made the whole Statue of Liberty disappear. I mean, come on, that was really good.
Can't be fake.
Yeah. The fighter jet. I mean, how do you fake that?
Who's the guy in Vegas that I saw?
I think he's a priestess.
The crazy guy? He's kind of devilly, though.
Which one?
He's in Vegas.
Chris Angel.
Yes!
Yeah.
I saw him.
I loved when he shows tricks. I love it. Like, he actually showed how he did his levitation.
Oh, really?
That was pretty good. Yeah.
I would like to. I love when they. I love magic. It's such a dorky thing.
It's great.
I do love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's embarrassing. Yeah, like
You like magicians, but sorcerers we kill.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Neil Patrick Harris, by the way, huge on magic. Do you see the thing he did? He has an entire room hidden in his house, and you have to go over and you have to press on the wall, and then it turns into his secret magic room where he has all the sleight of hand stuff he does.
yeah. See, I want like a bookshelf where I have to pull the right book out, and then it spins around.
We all want to be Batman.
Yeah, totally. Oh, that's right. Oh, I thought in the movies I thought he uses a piano. That's in the comic
It depends
book
on
movies.
which one, because in some of them it's a clock, and some of them it's a piano. In one, it's just a button under the desk.
That's not a very good one.
Whoops!
Which writer came up with that? That's
That's just lazy writing. Let's just put it under the desk.
Anyway, sources.
Yes.
Tell me more about these ladies.
So they serve they serve the other deities, kind of like Zatanna, DC Comics, and what would happen is we were geeking up hard tonight.
Yeah.
And according to like Ezekiel 13, they would actually wear like magic bands and stuff,
Okay.
and they would perform rituals where they could literally capture the souls of people. And so the reason why, and again, we're going by the presumption that sorcerers are real, all right? Because you proposed it, all right?
So we're just. What's sad is like, obviously that didn't happen. So they're just killing these women for no reason because they're obviously not taking.
If
the
you
souls.
believe that they could take a soul, and they would capture them, because literally in that passage it says, and this is Yahweh speaking through the prophet, he says, "I will tear the bands off of your arms, those bands which capture the souls as birds." So if you were to take the
So
Bible,
what happens to a person when you steal their soul? What happens?
I guess we have to ask a voodoo priest, because those guys do it all
Right,
the
so
time.
then-
I mean, what's the evidence though? What's behind it? What's the evidence suggesting that they actually did it and stealing souls was real? How do you steal one's soul?
So I don't know how you do it, because I don't study magic, but
Or
There-
do you? You seemed like you knew a lot about David Copperfield.
Well, you
and
know.
you were watching the behind the scenes.
The guy's pretty
His
awesome.
Angel stuff. So.
I mean,
So are we saying that Yahweh is admitting that the sorcerers can take other souls?
yes. Yes, he is.
So someone can
So
take
he
a
had-
soul other than God.
He had
Yes.
legit competition.
He took him
Well-
out, baby.
Either way, and mind you, it kind of parlays because there's like exorcists, for example, have said that there's like demonic entities have referred to like souls as like merchandise or collateral, where it's like they're trying to steal the souls because it means something to them. So in the spirit realm, somehow a soul is worth something. I don't know how that works because I don't live on the other side.
This
but
guy sold his soul on eBay once. Let's see how much it's worth.
now I'm interested. I'm curious.
What's the going rate for a soul these days?
Can you barter?
Yeah,
I mean, can you like give him a Lambo and
Right.
give him a flock of sheep.
oh,
Like,
there you go.
guy sells
When's the bid end?
soul on eBay. This was a while ago.
Does he take rabbits?
Oh, they told him no, he's not allowed. But I just wonder what it got up to though. 'Cause you know there had to have been bids before they made him take it.
Oh, there
down.
had to be.
Wait, oh, probably not. Okay, he was selling his soul for $1 million.
Is there any voodoo priests betting on
It
that?
turns out you're not allowed to sell your soul on eBay.
Is it considered prostitution? Or?
Right.
That's not fair. You could sue them.
Yeah. The Albuquerque woman who was auctioning off her soul on eBay, no sale. eBay has canceled her listing.
Or
Their policy specifically forbids selling your soul.
are you serious?
12 years ago, a Canadian
eBay, I
man
love you.
from Pendleton Falls, Ontario, tried to sell his soul. Bidding reached $20.50.
Wait a minute. You got to read that line right there in 2008.
A musician tried to sell his soul to raise money for his band. I like that.
How desperate we get for cash.
Listen, if you need money, don't sell your soul.
Sell your soul
I'll
on
give you
eBay.
money out of my pocket.
You know what?
eBay does not allow auctioning of human souls for the following reasons. If the soul does not exist, eBay could not allow the auctioning of the soul because there would be nothing to sell. However, if the soul does exist, then in accordance with eBay's policy on human parts and remains, they would not allow the auctioning, so they went both routes. And then, so like no one can get mad that way.
That's great. I love that. That's great.
Oh,
That is
Lord.
Although you
What do
can
we do to
sell-
raise money for a band. Oh,
You can
I'll
sell
sell
anything
my
on
soul.
Amazon. Just saying.
oh.
Just saying.
Yeah, Amazon will sell it.
Oh yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah. Just open it up.
Or
They'll sell it.
Craigslist. I mean, my God, they'll sell
Ow.
anything.
Yeah.
I'll sell my soul. Make money.
What's
for
your
this
soul
podcast.
There you go.
You know,
Depends how much they bid.
50, 60 bucks. How much?
Sold.
I know how much.
What a bump.
Like beer, like they have to
Just-
buy
we'll just
beer
cover
for
the
each
beer.
podcast. Yeah. Cover our expenses for the next year. New cords,
There we go.
you know.
My next Mevo camera.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
Next question.
Yeah,
Next
that
beer.
seemed like a good.
Next beer.
Yeah. What do we do already? Juice. I feel like we need to go through all the beers. Wait,
Just roll the die.
2.
One.
One, dude.
All right.
Thank Yahweh.
Thank Yahweh for that.
I'm going Christmas. I'm going Christmas.
No, we
No,
got-
which Christmas though?
I know.
Oh.
You know what? I mean, obviously there's so much different beer. I don't know if I could do it with a vodka. I like to do
Oh,
like
that
if we had
smells
like
good.
some cheap whiskeys and like some nice whiskeys and
I'm going with the spice double ale.
I like it the
Southern Tier.
spice. I like it the spice.
Oh boy. Let me think.
Depends on how holly and jolly it is. Let me tell you.
I like this, by the way.
Southern Tier did have a really good Christmas ale.
I wanted to be different, but I think I'm gonna go holly jolly just to be different. Just so
All right.
there will be a difference between me and Gumby when the final score reveals itself.
All
We'll
right.
have a winner and
So-
loser to some degree.
Gumby and
I mean, I'm fine with that guess too.
Juice are both gonna say it's number one. All right, and you said it's
Holly jolly.
Holly Jolly. All right. And GC said this is
the
number
initial
one.
goal. After a while, I don't know if I like it. It's okay.
We're sold on it.
Yeah, it's alright. I like the spice, but the spice.
I like it
doesn't
the spice.
last.
I like it the spice.
I guess spice. I do like the spice. You know what? I think I see what you're saying. Up front, it punches you, and that flavor's all there, and you're like, I am down with this.
Yeah.
But maybe it desensitizes you
That's true.
to that third and second flavor. I bet if you put this back down while you're talking or smoking a nice cigar, then you pick it back up, the flavor's back.
Yeah.
I'll bet that's what it is. This is one of those beers that you have to sip slowly.
True. And not after a double IPA.
Not after a double IPA, which is already desensitized.
Oh, we should have been. You know, been really professional if we would have had a palate cleanser. We should have. Oh, we do have water.
Boom! Wish granted.
I know. I wish we would have had like a thing of like fresh ginger or coffee.
That would be
beans,
good.
right?
I do love fresh ginger.
I do too. I eat that whole glob of it.
Me too.
After
Isn't
sushi,
that
I was
great?
like, oh.
Yep.
See, we're getting along too well. We need
Way
Mike
too well.
here.
Way too well. Mike.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, just going like a little sidetracking while we're in an interlude here. So I watched this thing on Satanists.
Okay.
We need to get one of them on the show.
You want a little Anton LaVey?
yeah. I think what I kind of got from them is that they're more so just. It seems like they're more so counterculture more than anything. I don't know, and not that I did anything beyond, this hour documentary that I watched. It just seemed like they were more so involved with counterculture than so, I don't know, actual worshiping of Catholic or Christianity, Satan. But I would like to learn more. I think they would probably piss you guys. I would love to have conservative Mike on. Because it just seems like a lot of their decisions are just like to, they're just kind of challenging. They say they're challenging authority. They're challenging, and that's the reason for liking Satan. What was the angel? Is it Lucifer?
Yeah, Lucifer.
Right, so they're saying they're kind of like they look up to
Morning
him or
Star.
her, whatever it is, as someone that challenges authority, and they're challenging authority in the general way of thinking, because Christianity is so widespread and so controlling that they like to be a counterbalance to that. They also said a lot of things that they do is really just because it pisses Christians off. So Christians think that they're, essentially Christians think they do this, and this, and it pisses them off. So they're like, okay, and then they adopted it just to do it. But I think we should try. I bet they seem like a bunch of hillbillies too. So I bet we could try to get one on. And see how riled up they get you guys.
Well, we could do that. Could we have a priest on at the same time?
Yeah, that'd be excellent.
Okay,
Listen, I'm all about bringing people on for debate. Yeah.
He just likes bringing people together.
And have some people
These
argue.
guys might need to get their own room.
Oh, I love it. That'd be great drama. Just having a Satanist on, I think that would probably piss people off that listen to this. So, you think for us giving them a window of?
I think if we balanced it with a minister or a priest, I think we'd be okay.
Why do we have to balance it though? Versus having any other guests?
Because that's what the Satanists would want is to be balanced.
Right. Well, I was just wondering if our audience would be upset because we'd be giving the Satanists an opportunity to speak out. We're giving them a platform.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be any worse than Trump.
I
said that.
Oh!
Hey! Nailed it. If there's one thing I've been strong on since day one is wanting sound effects. So thank you, Juice, for reminding us that was perfect timing.
Nice.
You're welcome.
For everyone at home. One last time. Nailed it, Juice. All right. Well, moving on up.
All right, next question. After you roll the die.
I think I just rolled it.
Yeah, and we just had questions, so you have to roll it again.
Oh, I was just doing it as an interlude.
Oh,
We
well.
don't really have the question per se.
Yeah, there was no question there.
It was still a comment. Roll.
All right. Juice, I really just want to do the other ones.
Yeah, just wants beer.
What do we got? We need 6 and 3.
6 and 3. Come on. 6 and 3. Come on.
So
Come
what's
on.
up? I don't want to drink.
Come on, 6 and 3.
Oh! Okay.
There is a Yahweh.
Thank you, Yahweh.
No, Yahweh would not be doing that for me.
Hey.
If there was one person in this room, it would not be. He'd be sticking up for Juice way before me.
Listen, Benjamin Franklin.
First miracle.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Benjamin Franklin said,
You're like,
"Fear is proof that God loves us and He wants us to be happy."
right? Like maybe this is how I said I wanted him to lift the camera up, wave it in our face, and like throw it against the mirror. Maybe if I roll a 6, I might have to go to church with you guys. I'm joking. I won't do that, but it'd be funny if I did put that.
You will pick up a lotto ticket.
Is this correct?
That one's yours. This one's mine.
Okay.
It's the other Christmas.
This I'm definitely thinking. This is definitely Holly Jolly. I can just tell by the look of it right there. I can tell. That's so Holly Jolly. Hold on. It's got a lot. It has a lot of head. It has a lot of head. It's a slightly lighter color than the last one. It's definitely a little more amber. You know.
It's jolly and gay, but I don't mean it in the way that like Christians hate it. I mean it like the way we used to use it.
You mean like jolly? You mean like jolly?
Jolly?
Yeah.
Oh, this one is. I'm not saying I already guessed jolly, so I can.
Oh, that's Holly Jolly. That's definitely Holly Jolly.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah. That's Fatheads.
I like this one better than the
Yeah, I do think
It's-
this is.
It's very well balanced.
Because I knew Southern Tier was strong. I was hoping when I guessed just to counterbalance or whatever, I was kind of hoping this one would be stronger. So, well, I'm just gonna have to hope I'm wrong.
Yep.
And so I'm gonna guess 2 Xmas Spice Double, and you guys will guess the Holly Jolly. That one, it just tasted more Holly Jolly.
It was good. 3,
Yeah.
George. What do you got?
All right.
Whatever was that one?
So
3.
I'm gonna look at Gumby, and so, and I will bring this up again when we have Farm Earth on this show. And I say that because he was posting. He said he had a friend that was interpreting the Bible. He said he thought maybe I might even pull up the post. Oh, he deleted it. I think 'cause he didn't like what I was saying. I wasn't even trying to be offensive. Like, I think I'm talking to him kind of like, not how I talk to Jews, but maybe how I talk to Steve or something. I don't know.
Not sure why you find that offensive.
But he said that a friend of theirs in the church was interpreting the Bible, and he thought that the Bible had given him too much control of his wife. And I said, if you believe in the Bible, I don't think he's off. I believe it's very misogynistic, and I think it does clearly, put a place of women beneath the man, in my interpretation. So I'm gonna give you 2.
That's why we believe in cultural context. Go ahead.
Juice, you'd be a good lawyer for the.
Thank you.
All right. So one is, I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. She must be quiet. Timothy 2:12, and this is a big one. I didn't read this. I wish I would have known this for Dan's post. Wives, is that Epiphans? Say that?
What?
I don't know how to say that.
Ephesians?
Ephesians?
Oh, Ephesians.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I'm admitting I don't know it.
That's okay.
Ephesians 5:22. This is crazy. Like, you guys read this. Like, I don't know, unless there's like a whole world of context around this.
There is. Go ahead.
Wives should be subordinate to their husbands as to the Lord. Wives should be subordinate to their husbands. Wives should... God, I wish conservative Mike was here, because he's all about that. Like,
can you put that in context? There's verses that wrap around that.
yeah, let me
There's
Google
verses
it.
that wrap around. What's before that?
I'm going to Google it. Ephesians 5:22, is that what that was?
Sounds about right.
Wives submit. Okay. All right. So this one says the New International Version. Is that a good version? I don't know.
It's fine.
All right.
It'll do
Dude,
it.
like, that one's so good, Juice. It's fine.
It's not Aramaic.
All right.
I was going with Greek.
Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body, of which he is the Savior. Now, as the church submits to Christ, wives should submit to their husbands in everything. That's a deep verse, bros. That's a deep verse.
It's very deep.
And that's kind of shitty for the wife. 25. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church, and gave himself up for her to make her holy, cleansing her by washing her with the water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish. Husbands ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. I don't think it's doing enough. So Dan Farnworth, now I remember this is coming back to me. His argument was like some of that follow-up that I had read. That, well, if you're going to love your wife as much as you love yourself, then really, you're kind of tied. Where he was also arguing like some sense of like flexible leadership. But I think it clearly states there that the woman is number 2. Like, I get it. Treat her nice. I hear treat her nice. Hey, don't treat her bad. Yeah. But and what I just read, there's a clear number 2, and it can never be the woman just because of her gender. That's what I'm reading there.
So I'll let you go first.
I would, for the most part, I would have to probably agree with that.
Gosh, we ain't gonna get along too
the way
well.
I know, but the way Christianity has been taught here in the West, I probably have to agree with that. There's that whole recent controversy with the Baptist preacher John MacArthur. And I quote, this is him saying, he was going back and forth between him and Beth Moore, who's a woman pastor, by the way. There are some women pastors that are very prominent.
Okay.
But he said, and I quote, empowering women makes weak men.
Ooh.
And weak men make everybody vulnerable to danger.
That's why I stopped reading him years ago.
So, I don't agree with that. No. I don't agree with that at all. And I think that is giving Paul way too much emphasis on the New Testament where it doesn't need to be. Because again, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, Paul probably couldn't get a girlfriend.
Paul was married.
Yeah. So,
He isn't married?
No, he was. He was married.
He was married?
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah.
Why would you tell everyone it's better to not? Oh, I see now.
So, according to tradition, he was married and
never heard that.
then he left. Because there's a reference he makes to leaving families and wives behind for the kingdom. There's a reference to it. Now, mind you,
marriage is
there's
hard.
there's no documented proof that he was married.
That's the first time I've heard
and
it.
he did leave. He did live the rest of his life.
Like he had a side piece.
So
he had a number
Peter also had a family. Also had to go off on his own. So.
Well, they're not loving their families like they should love the Lord.
Well, no, they were, because they were targets. They were targets. If you love your family and you're a target, you don't bring them with you.
Why couldn't he stay with his family? I'm just wondering.
Because he was a target.
So what, they were going to come in and kill him?
Yes.
Kill him?
They tried to kill him over and over and over again.
I think that they're just, when it comes right down to it, I think people like MacArthur, maybe not necessarily MacArthur, but like MacArthur, feel inferior and have an inferior complex or something because they feel like they can't be.
Is he a white dude?
Yeah,
of course. Classic white people.
And feel like there's nothing that they can be taught under a woman.
All right, I can see that.
It's embarrassing.
I can see that.
There are great women teachers out there, not to mention Supreme Court judges, doctors, lawyers, like real life-changing people outside of the church that are women. Why can't the church catch up?
Yeah, why not just?
I think in some instances,
they're not.
It has.
No, it hasn't.
I agree in some ways.
They're trying, but they're not up to par.
I believe it has.
And we read last time that they can't reach a certain level. We said that last time.
I literally, right after, because obviously I was not prepared for that question.
I'm sorry. That's like me every episode. I'm sorry, Juice. I didn't have the slides made ahead of time.
Right afterwards, I did pull it up. And yes, there are multiple women that outrank most of the men across the entire world. So, yes. And I can actually show it to you later because I have it stored away in one of my files.
Yeah, but words and deeds are so different because most
But it's not. When you go to the conferences, the international conferences, there are women that precede the men.
But don't matter. We went through, right? We went top to bottom like the Catholic.
Nope.
Yes, we did.
No,
Juice,
no,
we did it on the show. We went top to bottom.
But we did.
And it was like way down when we got to the women.
But we didn't. Because, and
Yes,
I
we
even
did.
said, nope, and I even said it. I said, there are more titles and there are more positions that we're not covering. I said that.
Pull it up.
I said
I
that.
do remember. You did
Pull it
say
up.
that.
Yes.
But,
Pull it up.
but even if
I
the
don't
Pope...
know where to find it right now.
Why? I don't even want to fight it.
Go ahead.
We could just Google it. Google it.
You can't just Google it.
Just Google
You
it.
can't just Google it. I'll pull up the follow-up because I do have it. I grabbed it and I snagged it and kept it. So I do have it. I'll pull it up later.
Juice.
But
so conveniently not available right now.
I don't know why it's so tough for not just the Catholic Church, but even very
now,
on the other side of the evangelical.
to go back to that passage, though, we're not talking about modern America. So in that passage, if they did not maintain a specific position, they could be in trouble. So we're talking about cultural context right there. So we have to make sure that every passage we take is within the cultural context of where it's being said at.
So why not update the Bible and just delete all the misogynistic, women hating?
Well, here's why. Because if we were to update it in America, it wouldn't apply to China. If we were to update it in China, it wouldn't apply in Australia.
Well,
so the best
doesn't
thing
apply
to
to
do
anything right now, right?
So the best thing to do is to apply the cultural context of how it's supposed to be manifest in your culture.
Yeah, but doesn't that leave a lot of room for different? I mean, hence so many denominations, hence so many different interpretations of the same.
That's true.
Verse.
But like for example, in South America, there's multiple places where the women have the place in charge of where a priest would normally be, and they're the ones serving the Eucharist and all that.
Right.
So
True. But I'm speaking of something like this. So, like, even if the Pope or a high-ranking priest or John MacArthur said, "Oh, Mother Teresa was a great servant of the Lord. Her work she did, she's a saint." Even if they say that, they will not sit under a biblical teaching from her.
that's wrong. I would say that's wrong. I mean, look at her interactions with Pope John Paul II. There's no way he was not bowing to her, because even, and mind you, and he's a saint as well, right? Now he is. But even he bowed to her humility.
Yeah.
So I mean, if the Pope himself places her above him, obviously there's a place, right?
But I think it would set a huge example for Catholics and for people even outside of the Catholic faith who would allow a woman to be a teacher within the Catholic Church of the Bible or something like, or even become a priest.
Yeah, but we do. Priests are there's a lot of stuff going on in the background right now with that. So, like I said, there are women who have very high ranks right now in places who even are serving in that position, especially across South America right now. So I would not say that they do not have that authority when clearly a large portion of them do. But to go back to that passage, because we have to go back to that in context, right? Because we're not talking about a celibate priest. We're talking about a husband and wife.
Okay. And
So
the woman is
we have to take that. Now, if we are to take that in context with what is taught in the Catholic Church, there is no 1 and 2. It's equal. It's 100% and 100%.
So why is there even that passage?
A man, again, because you're talking about cultural context.
Why even have the Bible?
Well,
I'm just saying, if
because
it's so outdated,
it teaches us.
if it's so really, because
Yeah.
it sounds like the woman's number 2 if you just read that.
So
it's so outdated. Like
so
why even have that?
If you don't know your history, you are doomed to repeat it.
Again, it's a. But this is telling people that the woman being subordinate is the way. Then you have to dig deeper. So you have to read the rest of the Bible, then go back, identify that passage, and then read into it. That's how you need to learn it. That's a lot. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
You don't have to. That's why we have this thing.
Imagine that before the internet.
So here's this. That's the reason why we have Holy Tradition. Okay? We have Holy Tradition because we've learned from that, and now we can apply that to our cultural context. We learn from that, and we hold on to that tradition so that we don't forget that.
I just feel like sometimes you pick Team Catholicism, and you just like you're gonna argue for it.
Well, I know that there.
Do you ever bend for anything Like, is there anything about Catholicism you don't like? I just feel like you pick the team and you're just like, you will defend it. Like, clearly...
It took years of research to get there.
Again,
just be clear,
clearly,
it took years of
Catholicism
research.
is behind in terms of female leaders. It is behind.
I would disagree, but whatever.
Yeah, I choose. They're so behind in terms... And like you said, like, and it's just like, you just refuse to admit it. Like, I feel like the rest of us were like, yeah... And you're like, no. You're just like always a Catholicism apologist. Like, is there anything that you're like, I don't know. I always said I'm surprised you picked a team, but it's annoying.
I was too.
It's annoying that you picked a team and that you're all in.
It picked him.
I mean,
it just seems like you limit yourself to the teachings. Like, you're not allowed to believe in anything outside of Catholicism now.
It took years, but that's just it, though. It's the breadth of the teaching that brought me in, because
not one
thing. They really are the most unbiased branch I have found, because that covers such a broad expanse of every kind of teaching, from philosophy to science to cultural contexts to biblical analysis.
Science.
So I mean,
thank you for that.
Oh, that's right. He said I forgot that he said Catholicism created science. Catholicism created words. Created the word the.
It created.
Started making outlandish
science.
Created the question mark.
So, all right. So here's how I feel about it, though, Aaron.
Yeah.
And George.
Yep.
If Paul was here right now having a beer with us, and Jesus was here right now having a beer with us, which I think Jesus would. I don't think Paul would, by the way. But anyways, if they were both here.
Paul's a dork.
Peter would.
I think Jesus would say, "Hey, Paul, man, you were kind of pretty stringent on that whole gender issue. What's up with that, man?" I wasn't.
All right.
But again,
and Paul would be like, "Well, Jesus, you didn't know my marriage. I mean, what would his response be? Because it seems like Paul's words trump that of Christ, and Christ seemed to break Christ seemed to break the cultural norms of his day by choosing to talk to women, by choosing to associate himself with prostitutes.
But he was also the same
defending them.
But he was also the same one who, when the Semitic woman approached him, said, "I only came for the people of the house of Israel, and not to the dogs."
Yeah. But he wasn't calling her a dog.
No. He's making a cultural reference.
Yeah.
Now, but again,
but he even spoke to her.
He still broke the norm, because she said, she went on to say that, even dogs take their scraps, and that's when he said, "Woman, your faith has healed your daughter."
Yeah, exactly.
So
that probably had more to do with ethnicity and different nationality, but the fact is, she was a woman. He shouldn't have been talking to her alone.
It's true.
And she was not Jewish.
It's also true.
He broke the cultural norms to associate himself with a woman when priests would have been happily ready to stone her.
And so the way that I can approach this one is because Jesus, when is in a specific area at a specific time with specific preaching. Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at the time of Jesus, we still have Pax Romana. All right. So during the time of Paul, we're now going through some upheavals. And the government was getting far more stringent, and Christians were coming under fire.
Yeah.
So you have to look at the context, not just simply of the time, but also what the government was happening at the time. So if you were to upset the norms of the government, you're talking about them coming down on everybody's heads, not just simply that couple, but on everybody's heads. So,
which is what Christ did.
He did, but he was still in during Pax Romana. It was just after Jesus when all the upheaval started happening. Paul makes references to them. So
I just think Paul knew how to walk that fence because he had the pharisaical upbringing and the knowledge and the legalese to play both sides.
And he did. Well, I mean, to an extent, so did Jesus, because he was also a trained rabbi, right? So they believe he was Essene. Could have been. But Paul, but Paul, remember, he went from town to town to town to town. I mean, look at his travels. So what?
Only within 100 miles. Didn't go that far.
That's a lot when you're walking.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, there's a whole lot of planet left.
So they didn't know that. Anyway, so
Well, they should.
you're talking
I
about.
mean, this is God that sent him on this adventure to pass the word.
Yeah, but it's a man. He's not God. He's a man.
No, there should be more. I'm just saying,
Anyway,
if I was God and I was trying to spread the word, I would
Anyway.
have sent some people over that way.
anyway,
Is this thing on?
what kind of person would he be if he leaves them in trouble? If he says, "Hey, all of you, don't worry about the leadership. Don't worry about the structure that the government has for you.
As long as it's not women.
Paul wasn't that far off from Christ, though. I mean,
Yeah.
speaking
I
from
mean-
a historical context, he wasn't that far removed from the time of Christ.
Yeah, but
So-
if he had left, if he was as rebellious as Jesus was,
Yeah.
all right, especially during that time period, then he would have left every town that he left in complete upheaval. I mean, people would be put to death everywhere he went.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
I
mean,
know what you're saying. So, when Christ defended the prostitutes in front of all the Pharisees, and they stoned her to death, and they tried to stone her to death, and Christ put himself to defend the women.
yeah,
If Paul was in that crowd, would Paul join on Christ's side, or would Paul have joined the stone? Do you think?
it's a good question. I want to say that Paul would have been on her side,
Big one.
but we'll never know. But I do want to say that he would have been. I mean, we're talking about the same guy who walked into the Areopagus, did not criticize a single person in the entire. This is a giant stadium of pagans. All right. He knows that at night these guys are going out and drinking blood out of the veins of animals as they're dying, and they're visiting their temple prostitutes. I mean, at the same time, right? He knows this is what they're doing, right? Not one single negative thing that he said. Instead, what does he say? He says, "I see that you are very pious people. I see that you are upright. I see that you obey the gods and love them so much you have all of these statues. I notice that you have one is to the unknown God. I am here to tell you about him today." And then he quotes their playwrights and their poets to teach them about Yahweh. Not once does he quote a scripture.
Yeah.
Not once does he go into anything except telling them about who Jesus was and about how he was that unknown God that they needed to find out about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty open-minded.
It's open-minded. I mean, it sounds a little political to me, like he knew how to play it. I
Right.
mean, obviously, he wouldn't say, because the truth is, Paul probably felt like, yeah, you people are probably going to go to hell, right?
Could have.
But if he said that, I think Paul knew his audience.
Yeah.
And that's
Gotta know
pretty
your
evident.
audience.
Yeah.
It could have been. It could have been. But again, I mean, he could, because other apostles certainly took that approach. You know, he could have just gone off on him.
Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
other apostles did. And he chose the higher road.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's true. He was marked till the end of his life. But George, just so you know, to this day, I know I know of a church right now, and I'm sure there are plenty more in Westlake, I won't say the name of it, that the women follow to the T what Paul commanded women to do in the New Testament in regards to praying and speaking in church, including their heads being covered.
It's Pentecostal, isn't it?
No.
No?
Absolutely not.
I am surprised. Okay.
I won't say what it is because I'm not throwing anyone under the bus.
Okay.
But if somebody wants to do their own research, they can.
Okay.
There's
Touche.
one thing that drives me crazy. It's when religion starts putting restrictions on clothing, in particular when it's just females.
Yeah.
I hate that. So you're saying this church, they make their women cover? Oh,
I don't
that
even
drives
know
me
that-
banana
I'm not
sandwich.
even sure that they have to make them. I'm sure that the women, to some extent, firmly believe that what they read in the New Testament in regards to Paul and his teachings should be followed.
I'll leave there is some cultural context too, because I've noticed that, for example, it's also a Polish custom, and I've noticed that there are a lot of people who grew up in Polish descent who will wear head coverings, and I think it's more cultural than it is mandated.
In this case, it's
So-
not. In this case, we're talking about a white suburban church.
Oh, okay, well, that's different.
And then right down the street is like Trader Joe's. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's odd.
Okay.
It's completely odd.
All right.
But
I'll give you that.
I mean, I'm not sure that they're twisting the woman's arms that hard to do that.
All right.
You know, that's it. I don't know what to do with that.
Roll the die.
Well, we're getting
Save us,
we're getting
guys.
6 regardless.
Well,
It's the only one we haven't
I
drank.
still want to see if it lands on 6 though.
I agree.
Of course it is.
Ready?
Oh, gosh, that would have been crazy.
All right.
That would have been nuts.
All right,
I was
6.
hoping it was too.
It's 2 plus 4.
Let's see if I get a 4. 5.
That's mine. That one's yours.
That was nice. Why do I keep doing that?
I don't know. You're like, I'm done.
Get this glass out of my face. Alright, well, this has to be whatever last one we...
Oh man, I'm on this stuff now.
This has to be the tangerine, right?
Oh wow. Oh shoot. Oh no.
Did we not do one?
We can blame Kendra for this, right?
Uh huh. Oh wow.
I don't know.
I bet the Stone IPA isn't
Shoot.
actually one. I bet... Did your son write these, I assume?
He did.
I bet. This... I don't think they're...
No, he's right.
There's 6 beers.
No, he's right.
Didn't I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
There's at least 3 stones in here. Shoot. I don't know. This is definitely IPA.
I don't taste
It's
any
good.
Tangerine in this, though.
Shoot. I don't taste it. I'm wondering if that more robust one last time was the tangerine.
Maybe that double.
Yeah. Maybe that double wasn't a
But
double.
it's a Stone IPA.
Because it had that last one had that robust flavor. Maybe that robust flavor was the tangerine.
This tastes just like a good IPA.
It does. I'll bet this is IPA right there. I'll bet it's IPA.
I'm guessing Stone IPA. I didn't get the tangerine in there.
Nope. I'm going IPA as well.
But did I forget one? Because we didn't. None of us guessed tangerine.
Yeah, we think we missed it.
Oh, we
That's
must have
why.
missed one.
Like in our taste, I mean, we missed it.
Shoot, what number did we miss? Hold on. We
Well,
got
because we should have had to guess.
4, 1, 3,
We definitely had to do Christmases.
3, 5. I don't see a 2. I don't see a 2. Do you see a 2? I don't see a 2.
Alright, we do 2 it is.
We did not do 2.
Wait. Did I roll a 2 when I was trying
You
to
did roll 2! Oh!
Did we not drink 2? Are you sure?
There's no 2s. Look.
Well,
There's-
we
there's
didn't
no
guess any
2s.
2s.
There's no 2s
Yeah.
guessed. So we didn't do 2 yet.
So when I wanted a 6 to finish, I actually rolled a 2, so I think I'm still going.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
Yeah, so-
Yes. Dude.
Alright,
All right. I'm going with Stone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Stone.
All right, so we all go Stone. Oh, that's almost creepy.
I'm a believer.
That weird little twist.
Wow. Yeah, that's almost creepy. That was 5. No, 6. That was 6. That was 6.
What?
So we got 4 2s then, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did do 4 or 2.
Yeah, we
Okay,
have
so we'll
to
finish.
do next.
I
That's
wanna
almost
finish
creepy. Holy
This,
cow.
I really like that one. I'm gonna save that for the last one. It'll be a fun one.
All right.
Alright.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Um,
It was too creepy.
It'd be a pretty fun episode if we were sitting across from our wives.
Oh, it'd be
Having this
hilarious. That would be hilarious.
oh gosh. Well, as long as. Well, I mean, I'm fine. My wife has a neutral, but someone.
Is she
I
gonna
won't.
is she gonna join us for the?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, so maybe I'm just taking a lighthearted way out of here. But does Isaiah 40:22?
All right.
Did they mention that the Earth is round or circular?
So here's the deal with that.
So I'm just going a different route. rather
It-
than
Go ahead,
arguing
can you read it? You got it open?
it.
Oh yeah, go ahead, read it.
40:22. Is that it?
I mean, I know I keep the word in my heart, but I'll let you.
So,
Well played. Well played.
Isaiah.
It's in there.
Isaiah.
Oh, we got 4 of these 2s, right?
22.
We got 2.
Well, if this is the one we're ending on, then I have a different one.
Oh okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right. We'll
Okay,
wait.
that's fine,
We'll
that's
wait.
fine.
No, it's okay. We'll wait.
Alright. Hold on. I don't know how this works. Just do it. No,
No, I'll wait.
there it is.
Use the force, Gumbi.
He sits enthroned above the circle of the earth, and as the people are like grasshoppers, he stretches out to the heavens like a canopy and spreads them out like a tent to let it. No, he does not predict that the earth is round. But Juice is probably going to say yes, he did.
No, he didn't. No. So actually, what that circular or circumference is the same word you would use to say that a dime or a nickel is circular.
Yes, it is when it's up.
Yeah. Is it circular? Yes, but it's not saying that it's
I think it's flat.
it's not saying that the circumference is circular in all directions. What it's saying is it's circular, because honestly, in the Hebrew mind, they thought that the only part of the entire world was Mesopotamia. So as far as they knew, it was flat. They didn't know better. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Interesting. So what's your thoughts behind that, George? Thank you.
Oh, I was hoping Juice was going to say... I was hoping Juice was going to say, yeah, they predicted it to be...
Nope.
But, so, yeah.
No. They were predominantly flat earthers.
Back then, you mean?
Well, yeah, they didn't know better. It wasn't really until you get to Archimedes and Aristotle that they start predicting that the Earth is round, because they started doing mathematical calculations between the two different areas, and they could see the shadows. So they realized that once they calculated the shadows and how they moved between the two different areas, and they were within like a couple 100,000 miles. So I mean, they were actually pretty doggone close. But it wasn't until you get to them and the different mathematical theorems that they figured out that the Earth was definitely round.
Mm-hmm.
So, but still, way before Jesus was even born. So,
Right. What, did we drink that?
number 2.
Dude, we drank this.
No, we didn't.
That's it?
There's nothing on there. There's no 2s. There's no 2s.
We messed up.
We must have.
This isn't a full beer.
Oh, so you call it something. What'd you call it, George? What'd you call it?
Sorry, guys. I've been drinking it while you weren't looking.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, this
Try
bad boy's just about it.
All right.
It's an IPA.
That's an IPA. But see, in this one, I definitely taste the tangerine.
I do too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. This is definitely the
That
tangerine.
was so... Like, that bad boy is, like, empty now after that.
Huh.
So I wonder if we forgot to write it down? Did we and Juice start arguing?
We must, we must have wrote the wrong number down.
How many beers did we have?
But now I'm wondering if
How long has this show been going on?
I know. We look over at 4 a.m.
now I'm wondering if we missed a beer besides this one.
Man, we suck.
Right? We should have written these down.
Alright, so...
Well, again, this is our first try, right?
Alright, number 2
At
is
the new
definitely
game called
the
Skeptics Brewlette.
Skeptics Brewlette. Alright, so I just want to talk about this as the last one since...
Oh, this is definitely that's tangerine all day. Yeah, that's tangerine all day.
I wonder, again, maybe we didn't have a good cleansed palate.
We'll do the reveal.
And maybe it just didn't
That
catch
could have
us.
been it. We'll do the reveal in a second. We'll
Oh, that's
find
right.
out.
Alright.
Yeah.
Let's have a little fun with this. They're saying Deuteronomy 33:17, Psalms 22:21, Psalms 92:10.
Psalms. There's an S in there. Psalms.
Psalms.
At least say psalm.
The Psalm. Alright, good. It's a fair compromise. The Psalm, not unreasonable. The Psalms 29:6. The Bible makes mention of unicorns. Is this true or false?
Yes and no. That's yes and no.
That's a
All right, please tell me yes, because maybe I like the Bible more, because I want there to be unicorns.
That's yes and no. So, yes, it does use the word unicorns in the King James Bible.
Really?
But
Is
that's
it Sheep's King? Is that a good Bible?
But that's because,
If you're Baptist, yeah.
Okay.
especially if you're West Borough. I mean, but that's because they didn't have the word rhinoceros.
Boo. The time I want you to say crazy shit and you just get all practical on me, and it's just really sad.
There was no Hebrew word.
I wish you
for-
would have said like yeah.
because they were on mushrooms,
Yeah,
right?
right. Yeah, that would be funny too. If you said the unicorns ran down the rainbow and saved the people of Leviticus. And I was like, yeah, that's the coolest.
No, they say the people of Deuteronomy.
In Deuteronomy.
Actually, Jesus didn't ride a donkey into Jerusalem. It was a unicorn.
That's
That'd
what it
be
was. That's
awesome.
what it was. With a rainbow tail.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, disappointed.
Sorry.
Is there?
You could have done better than that, Joel.
I don't. That makes see. I'm just saying. I have to like. That makes practical sense to me. Juice otherwise does like he twists and turns and roundabout interprets weird things. Like that makes sense.
practically
They didn't have the word
converted.
rhinoceros, so they called it a unicorn.
You practically
I could put that.
converted.
I'm pretty much a diehard Catholic.
Pretty much.
I'm going to church. See you guys next week.
Proselytize.
Just take me to the river. Baptize me right now.
Epiphany, we're there.
Are we revealing?
Let's reveal. Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right. So what were we
All right.
guessing? What did we guess was number one?
All right, so we're at number 6. So at number 6, we had all of us agreed it has to be
Stone IPA.
Stone IPA. All right, let's find out. Wow, she really
I get
good job. I am gonna.
Don't open it, but get the thread off.
Yeah,
Let's do
try not.
some-
Yeah, she did a really good job. Good job, Kendra. All right. Number 6 is it Stone IPA? How good is our palate? Ready? And Stone IPA. There we go. Yep. All right, that was correct.
All right. This is number 5.
All right, so number 2. Number 2.
I thought we were going backwards.
Oh, let's go backwards.
Yeah, 5.
All right, 5.
I don't know what 5 is.
I got that.
He's got 5. So we were dead on with this one. We were dead on with that one.
Boy Scout knots, man.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Wow.
She's so good.
She's not even a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout.
There you go.
There we go. All right, so we have number 5. Number 5, we said all of us agreed that it was Kona Brewing. It is Kona Brewing Fire Rock.
It's like half a bottle left.
Thank you again, Chris. And Stone, thank you again, Mark. All right.
So I think is this number 4?
We have some great people, great listeners, great family. We thank you for your contributions. All right, number 4. Number 4, we had. Let me see. That's number 4. Oh, number 4. We all thought that it was Stone Fear Movie Lions Double IPA. We were wrong.
4 was the tangerine.
4 was the tangerine.
And pineapple? I didn't taste any of those.
Yep.
But look at the devil's horns on
Yep.
No wonder why we missed
No
it.
wonder.
Yep. Baphomet was definitely misleading us.
Shut up.
Ruining the magic
number-
of
Number 3.
We could have died if we were.
Oh, that's
sorcerer.
number 1.
Right?
This is
That's 3.
this is 3.
Okay. Number 3. Number 3, I believe we are going back in different directions
We
too.
mixed it. This
Yep.
is-
So we had both Gumby and I thought that was the Holly Jolly.
I think it is too, but I don't mix it up.
It was Holly Jolly. All right.
Alright, number 2.
Number
You
2.
know that one.
All right. Number 2. Number 2 we said was number 2. Oh, we thought that number 2 was actually the tangerine.
Yeah, so we messed up on this one.
All right. It is Fear Movie Lions. Wow. That's actually really good.
And what's
Stone,
weird,
that was great.
I know, but look at the other beers. We definitely
Like that.
drank that one twice. No,
We
that was
did.
the one I said.
We definitely drank that twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely
Right,
drank it twice.
right.
Yeah. No, 100% correct.
Weird.
Number 1.
And
Number 1, we said. Actually, we were divided this one too. Yep, Southern Tier. So
Oh, that was the same one.
Gumby and I said it was Southern
It's
Tier.
Southern Tier. I agree.
Southern Tier.
Yeah, so when I was guessing, I was hoping when we tried the second Christmas beer, it was going to be strong, and it wasn't. I was like, dang, that's definitely a Holly.
So there we go. So we were actually off on a few of those. Go figure.
Well, and we totally botched number 2.
Yeah.
It's the only one that's finished. The rest of them all have
And that was
half.
really good. I'm shocked because I thought for sure that was a tangerine. Because it has it has a really good feel. It has good mouthfeel. It has great flavor. It's well balanced. I thought for sure that was the tangerine.
I'm disappointed in myself.
I'm just weird that I'm still kind of tasting the tangerine with the double.
Isn't that crazy?
Right?
Like I'm sitting
How
there.
long did it take before we could actually taste that?
Go figure.
Next time, we should get like ginger or something weird and just cleanse the palate.
I agree.
We just don't drink enough.
I love ginger. We should stop at a sushi place and just ask for ginger. We need ginger.
I think they will.
They probably will.
I think they will. I think I've seen like people get like a.
You know what we should do? And we'll tell them that we'll totally talk about them on the podcast.
You know, hey, thanks for the ginger. So, all right. Well, we sign it off, Juice Man.
All right. So, George, last words.
Oh, thank you for. You didn't want to. Yeah, there's.
Yeah, well, you had to do a round table.
I know. I thought usually you always. Oh, I'm always last. I always think of something quirky to say.
No, I'm always last because I talk about our social media.
That's true, you do. But I think I'm never first, is what I'm saying, because I have time to think about it.
We're
last
disagreeing.
And because I always hear Gumby's gonna say there's nothing taboo over brew, and that's gonna be my sign to like say something. And all right, fine. And mine will be let's have a Satanist on the show. Let's do it. Doesn't offend me.
It doesn't even rhyme. All right.
So since he said nothing taboo, I'll say hell Satan.
Oh!
I knew when you said that the first time.
That was the first time when I met everybody.
I think Mike almost dropped to the floor.
Yeah.
He totally did too. We saw his eyes rolling back.
I love it that like I didn't really know you guys except for Juice was like he's joking. He's joking.
He didn't mean it.
He's not really a Satanist, guys. All right, so make sure you come and check us out on Facebook and Twitter and on every podcast platform. Make sure you please donate to us on either Patreon or anchor.fm/Bible Over Brews. We would welcome anything. In fact, if you just send us beer, we're happy with that too. We're not hard to please.
Yeah, send us your beer.
Yeah.
Send us your beer.
Yeah, we will drink it and talk about it and maybe even get it right. Have a great night.
Peace.